10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to more NanYang American Qualifier action. We're getting ready to hop into, well, I guess you can consider your lower bracket final. It's Shazam going against FDL, who just beat IX Mike's team Freedom and have now secured their spot to square against a very powerful Team Shazam. Winner of this moves on to the grand final to face Digital Chaos. Should be a good time. I'm Coddle Guy. I'm going to be joined by American Dota legend himself, Grant. Grant, how's it going, my man? Want to make sure everything works, so what's up?
Hey, what's up, dude? Hear me?
I can hear you plenty fine. Sounds wonderful.
That's good. Yeah, this should be a real barn burner, a real doozy game, I believe.
All right, so first thing we have to address is this Shazam roster, Grant. All right,
yes.
You knew something was a bit fishy coming into this series. You knew that there was going to be something special and people needed to come by and watch, and that's mad. So
yep, he is effing mad too. People don't know he's been I believe the last time we even saw him was at Frankfurt when he was analyzing. I don't think he's been on a team since then, has he?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, of course, we know him to play on Alliance, on the great Team Sigma for quite a while there. But aside from any other stand-in work, I don't really remember him getting a whole lot of recent playtime.
Yeah, he was actually, when NEL was still big, he was, I think, one of the 4 Europeans who chose to play in NEL over Europe Dota. So he's pretty accustomed to American Dota, maybe not for a little bit now, but definitely not one to miss out on.
So we knew that, and I was talking about it with Mott, and it was something that was tweeted, I believe, by Brax, that they are, you know, SVG is now going to be their coach, and that they didn't really say at the time what they were going to do to replace, but if I'm not mistaken, that change means that they're going to have to now go in the open qualifier for TI, is that right?
Yeah, it sure does. I don't think he's gonna, I don't think he's gonna be Shazam's coach. If he is moving to a different team that is unknown currently. But yeah, he is moving away from the Shazam world, and because of that, you see Enchantress doesn't go banned against him. Good.
All right, yeah, so they'll be able to snag that one up for themselves, and I wonder if that just becomes like a nice, quick, mad grab right there. It's something he played quite a bit, so I'm sure he's, you know, versed on it a bit. I'm curious to see if he's going to bring anything different to the table here, because like, does this change things up a bit, like just for the team overall? Because I knew Savage to be like that big tusk bounty hunter. I don't remember playing a lot of Earth Spirit, but he was always just kind of very aggressive and just hanging around the mid lane, being a pain in the ass there. Does Mad bring that same kind of style, you think?
I have not seen him in so long, but I think they kind of need that same style out of him. The whole reason, like, I think the last, like, 10 games Shazam's played, they've banned Enchantress, Elder Titan, every team. Freedom, Dragneel, DC have banned it, and now that, SVG's not there anymore, I mean, those heroes are going unbanned, and kind of scary, but I think he will have to do more of a roaming mid, not really Doom or farm style, and you see them actually ban it.
Yeah.
He's gonna really have to put in work, and you see the AA to counter Alchemist. It's been a pretty common third pick. It's Alchemist gets that second pick.
Yeah, it's definitely something, because when you go into a game against an Alchemist, you hate your life already. You're gonna be playing a different kind of a game than you're normally used to, having to kind of keep tabs on how he's farming, checking out for stacks, maybe, you know, contesting bounty runes so he doesn't have that easy surplus of gold come his way, or, you know, incorporate something like the AA into your draft. And given the opportunity, and with the bans already being on Nature's Prophet and Doom, who are also both big priorities, you know, I'm surprised even the Beastmaster was able to make it through. There's a lot you gotta have to, you know, keep tabs of, and that's just gonna allow the AA to kind of creep in there nicely here for FDL. So
yeah, I love the Nature's Prophet ban though. We just saw in both of the earlier games against Freedom, they didn't ban Nature's Prophet, and Mikey J went bonkers with both games.
Did you have any other impressions from that last series, by the way? I mean, I don't know I got to catch a little bit during the hub, some of the American games, but I didn't get to see a lot of FDL or Freedom play. But I almost thought the series was a bit of a 50-50. But do you think that, you know, it should have been FDL favored and that they deserved the win, or was that an upset?
I think Freedom favored, but FDL definitely, they outplayed him. I think they outpicked him too. I haven't really known Stan King to be like the best drafter, but he always drafts a, I don't know how to say it right, like a perfect 5 for his team. You can already see they already have the team fight the early game with just 2 heroes.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, FDL just plays, if that makes sense. Like Stan King, CC, they don't really have like that star player. I mean, last few games we've seen MJW go really well, and then when Deez is on the Slark and he can carry him, it's always good to see. But they don't just have that one like Arteezy or that Sumail that you want to watch for. They just have an all-around really good team.
Yeah, you know, who knows? Maybe a strong performance here moving forward, and someone might be able to make a big name for themselves. Yep, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I remember the last game these two played. It was a winners bracket, I think, regional qualifiers, and I remember the last game was an 80-minute game between squeaked out. There was a carry Mirana. We have not seen like any Mirana. What happened to that hero after Manila
I brought
qualifiers?
Up that same question to Mott. People were talking about it as well as Epicenter. She's just fucking gone. They're just like, cool Ags. Look at all the possibility with Ags. Now let's forget about it and move on.
The win rate was huge. I'm pretty sure probably like a 70% win rate just gone. It was just one of those, like,
maybe they made like a sacred pact amongst each other. Like, yeah, we're not playing this anymore.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Like a first pick hero, first ban hero, just gone. Maybe it was just maybe it was a tournament meta kind of thing. Just like the 4 tank heroes in Epicenter. I haven't seen that yet.
It's just it's a very trendy game too. I mean, maybe some players have even admitted that sometimes certain heroes are just not cool to play at that moment, and suddenly something pops out and it's like, you know what, that hero's now cool to play. Kind of like how pulling out the Luna TI5. It's like, you know what, that's pretty cool, we're gonna do that. But Mirana not cool right now, I suppose. But...
yeah, she is out. I think the last time we saw her, she was actually a support played by, I think Z-Freak played it right at Epicenter.
Yeah,
that was the last time. Yeah, he did, and oh my goodness, he played that so well. So maybe we'll see. I mean, it's not bad for the FDL lineup. I don't think B's a player carry, so it would have to be a support one. And there we go, Timbersaw. I don't know if you've been watching much, but there's been a lot of Timbersaw in these NA games with Moo doing it the most, I think. Yeah, Moo is loving that hero right now.
Oh, I figured because they probably got like the Immortal or whatever from this latest Battle Pass chest,
that's just gonna be even worse. We're just Timbersaws in every game. With like a poor man's shield and level 7, if you have the level 4 active armor, you have like 40 armor. It's something ridiculous. And stout shield procs, and I don't know. A lot of poor man's shield out by him.
Reserve time.
Has it been because I haven't personally been able to watch all the Timbersaw coming up? Like, what is it about it? Is it because there's been a lot of heavy strength cores?
He's unkillable in lane, which is a big thing right now. And yeah, he just in mid game. I've been seeing like off lane like 18-minute bloodstones, pretty damn quick. Goes into a fight, you can't kill him, and he's just all your attributes out it.
He's a crowd pleaser. I always love when Timbersaw does get picked up. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Who was the funnest one? Wasn't it Arteezy at MLG 2013?
Oh,
was that when he played in middle?
Say Arteezy at TI4, but yeah, MLG.
They both, yeah. The Arteezy with that hero, I can't middle hero for some time. Like you wouldn't think about it, but it worked.
I would say I would be a little Eastern biased and say maybe Ice 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 also plays a pretty damn good Timbersaw. I mean, they do have a set for him, after all. He's gonna play it decently.
No, he's sick at it. Yeah, of course.
He's sick. He's got hats, you know. But here we go to Shazam. They're picking up Eventual Spirit since then, so you get a extra flavor of the minus armor going along with the Alk and his acid spray there. And your supports are now set, so it's about building up something for potentially the off-lane grab, and of course, what they're gonna get for mid.
Yeah, well, we're gonna hope it's not the BSJ carry Vengeful, which actually works out for him, but I don't believe T plays that hero. Some crazy teams. BSJ plays some crazy. Not the Slark spammer anymore to say he is.
He's an innovator?
Well, I don't know innovator, but he plays a lot of heroes.
He's like a mad scientist. He'll try something out, and he comes out, and then just blows up in his face, and I guess back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about the Invoker, man. I don't think you can let MSS. In his last game, he went like 18. Even after I think losing his lane in like 3 minutes, he just still went ham. Yeah, I don't think you can give him that hero.
So good respect there. But we will see the Darkseer get grabbed up now. So it just offers, I mean, Alchemist is obviously, we know, a huge laking kind of a hero. Darkseer just comes with the fact that you have a wonderful high ground defense to help stall games out a bit. And then, you know, Ion Shell with any sort of man fighter like Alchemist, I guess could certainly not hurt. And then the Lifestealer comes out as well for FDL.
Yeah, Lifestealer's been it's been pretty much every game for FDL, Dragneel. It's never banned, but it's always, those teams meet up a lot now, but we've seen the Lifestealer, he either built super carry, or we still actually see, I believe,
Radiance.
yeah, he played the Radiance one still. It kind of fell off a little, but it's already coming back in. I mean, you get in that drag and you have a Radiance, they just can't do it. You can hop out with the Sanjin Yasha Radiance and you're still doing insane damage.
What were your thoughts on IX Mike's Lifestealer, though, last series?
Did they win a game? They didn't. I just don't think
he plays it that off-lane Lifestealer thing. We've seen Universe do it a couple of times, but it just really feels like Lifestealer's spot is in that safe lane or farming position, not off-lane.
Yeah, exactly. I think you have to get an early Midas on that hero to like push it. I mean, you have to be able to hop in Ancients. That makes that hero so good. And if you're off-lane, you're just, even if you go to the jungle, you're way slower than if you're in the safe lane and get that super quick Midas and you're just Midasing siege and range creeps. I just don't think it's good off-lane like you. It's pretty much a safe lane, that hero, so probably that means offlane Timber. They definitely played this hero like 3 days ago, but I forget how it went. I believe they won. They've been winning a lot. I mean, look at right now.
Yeah, dude, MGW always gets on these kind of teams that just kind of begin to make a name for themselves. He's getting on the up and up, but can't make it to that land. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like that next step right there. And I mean, here comes the Queen of Pain for the mid lane grab.
Yeah, and that's CCNC. He loves that hero. I'm surprised there's no Puck banned out, but I guess because they have the Alchemist, they're just already assuming Alchemist is... Well, it doesn't have to be, but... Oh, and the Weaver. It will be. Yep, so Weaver is just also done.
Yeah.
Last phase. I saw him in the last series. He's played DC, plays him. Enemy GG, yeah, pretty much every American team. Saw him a bunch at Epicenter as well, so he's the new Potom, I guess we'll say.
Did we see? I didn't actually look at that moment. Was Matt actually doing the drafting for Shazam?
No, Brax was.
Okay, Brax was. This is a nice draft. I mean, this is something similar to what we saw at Epicenter. This is like an Alchemist team dream right here. You have everyone on your team who could benefit a lot from an Ags Weaver, even, you know, with that ridiculous time-lapse capability. I mean, this Alchemist could just kind of turn into quite the Titan. And
I think it's good. I'm actually surprised because the Alchemist, like, best middle hero early. I mean, he can get his farm, but he's so gankable. But look at the side of FDL, and what do they have to gank? And AA, like, it would have to be like a level 1 smoke gank where he just gets what's that called? Sticky fingers or?
Oh, sticky. No,
I don't think it's called sticky fingers. Chilling touch. Yeah. Sticky fingers would be cool.
Sticky fingers, yeah, you know. Maybe.
Yeah, but without that, it's gonna be really hard for the Alchemist to die, which I think benefits Shazam a lot. Not having to worry, like, no stuns on the side of Dire.
All right, I have my back here for a second. Apparently, I didn't remove these freaking weather effects. Now I got all these glowing balls. I gotta look through here. Which is the default weather? Here it is. All right, let me get this connected.
I think the only one I've ever used, I just put on the snow. The snow, like, you can't even barely see. It's just kind of, you know. Yeah, I'm not one for, like, yeah, I was watching the stream and I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. Yeah, and then day and night is like turning violet purple. I didn't even see it.
And I'm like partially colorblind. I could not see that change. So I was like, some people, I'm like, is it nighttime? I had to like totally look at the clock just to see if the Night Stalker was roaming appropriately or not. So I definitely going to be never using that ever again. So we're back on default now.
One thing to notice, we were in the lobby and we were talking about it. I believe Jason has the level 125 and he has the terrain change. Makes the siege spot super easy. And they were
is
trying
he on
to
Radiant?
Like,
yep.
Yep.
Oh man.
So the left side. So we might see if Jason, you know, outplays some people.
Yeah. I don't have that level yet. I'm a little high, but I didn't go all in.
I saw you went 74 or
something. I got a little over 100 yet. Okay. I got fucked over every single treasure. So
oh my god, I haven't gotten anything above yet. I opened like I think the same amount as you. It's good times.
It's just the same disrespect. Or they're dropping these updates always during America.
It's just like I know that's when they're they're always gonna draw them. It's their Steam thing, but they need to screw over Europe somehow.
I always am casting when there's a patch drop like that. I remember when they first released like the big rubber band effect, and I was casting like Navi US at the time. It's always during America. It feels like it's a good time.
Yeah, sure, why not? No one's playing. They're always going. I think the NanYang Dota and Pro Dota were all three going on when I was like, oh boy. But okay, you see that ward. The Radiant Ancients, FDL places that nearly every game. I saw him place against Freedom as well, and I'm just surprised they don't. No one's countered it, like at all. And if you watch the replays, FDL always place it. I like the Sentry too. They place a very early Sentry.
It is definitely an interesting, very interesting spot. We'll block out the camp, and obviously Shazam, if they're not checking the replays or if they weren't watching the last series, I guess they wouldn't catch wind of it, or we'll have to see.
And you don't want to waste like that one Sentry ward up on that cliff and then it's not there, I guess. Like they'll know pretty soon.
The battle begins.
And I don't see anyone with a Sentry on hand, so they might just have to sack that camp altogether. Ooh,
he
did. Franz will have to walk away from that one, and that means that Shazam are going to be picking up both bounties.
It was kind of interesting. They didn't give the Alchemist one. Acid spray right away, huh?
Oh, well, yeah, straight acid spray. I guess maybe he's expecting that he's going to get punished in the early,
middle,
but
they got both ruined. See that often.
Yeah, something with stats and how that usually that team ends up winning. I don't know.
It's over. Might as well call it.
It's a hit in morale, that's for sure, right at the start. But I'm intrigued to watch this Timbersaw matchup as well. I mean, we're going to have to keep tabs on pretty much both sides, as the offlaners are going to be feeling pretty aggressive here. But, you know, you were talking a bit about with obviously the stout shield and now the reactive armor. He can be pretty damn tanky. Venge isn't the best at being a zoner, but she'll definitely hold her own as long as she can here.
And ship. So Kaz, then he has to run. Once called Wave of Terror finally comes out, he has to run. But yeah, look at he doesn't take damage. Then he gets a poor man's shield and Venge literally. But he gets her ass pretty early. That's good.
Yeah, it's enough to keep him at least away from getting into that XP too. So TC just has free reign in the creep wave to work with here, while Jason's going to continue to pull them back. Matt is just going to be doing as he pleases in the jungle, working with those early camps. Did he get a smoke? He did. So he's got a troll, and it looks like he'll take his business to one of these lanes and try to, you know, lead in with an early first blood for Shazam.
I think it has to be bottom, unless even if MSS would have to get one early in Sun, I don't think he's going to do that, because he's actually doing very well middle. He doesn't have the skills on.
Yeah. Well, MDW's not 2 yet. He doesn't have Timber Chain, so he's easy prey while he's stuck at level 1. But these creeps are about to move forward now, so he'll get to his level 2 in just a moment. And Matt, oh, I guess there was no Satyr here, or we'll take the other Satyr, the Mind Stealer, and it's mana burn.
Oh, and it's just gonna. Well, now we might be able to gain Quap when Quap has no mana.
How much mana does this thing frickin' burn? 100, all right.
It used to be 150. I remember that for a while, like how ridiculous it was. That was just something else.
The best was, I don't know how long ago, but when the creeps would just cast their spells on anyone walking by. Was that just strictly Dota 1 where you walk by and you get mana burn and you're like, for real, dude? For real?
It was a little bit. Now, luckily, it's just the Satyr who still shoots a shockwave at you randomly if there's more people there. But
yeah.
I'm glad they haven't fixed that. The thing I miss about Dota 1 is nighttime sleeping. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that.
Oh, yeah.
Surprised they did. Yeah, CC and C's losing all his mana.
Ooh, top lane. They try to make a tickle of Brax, but he's got the surge, walks out before any sort of cold feet will proc, and we'll have a salve to fall back on, so it's all good for him. And in your mid lane CS matchup, it's pretty neck and neck. I mean, Alchemist 12 to the Queen of Pains 11. Pretty nice for MSS. Plus this acid spray does quite a number on the CC.
He does.
He's gonna have to start using that regen.
You know what CC and C stands for, right?
Nah, fill me in.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Collect. Oh, okay.
Yes, he's there. He's ready. Yeah, he's just a young man. I can't believe how young he is. Crazy to me.
Yeah, I heard what, 16?
I think 15. He might be 16. I believe he's still 15. Oh, in bottom lane, might be a death.
Okay, MJW gets stunned up already, and he's getting body blocked here from Jason quite a bit. We'll force out the Timber Chain. TC's in though. Sakuchi's in, and welcome to the abyss of eternal suffering.
Oh, is he gonna go down here?
Oh, close, but no. One more tower click certainly would have done it, but they are both gonna be good. Meanwhile, Matt has smoked up, by the way. He's taking his business towards the top, or maybe rounding the corner in hopes to get a grab onto Mr. Cool and Calm.
I just don't see how they do without a stun. Without the netter, they have nothing to shut down CC, and C's blank, so he has to go top.
Yep. And easy grab on Stan King here if the timing is right. But there is Franz also in the nearby woods. No surprise, he's got the highest CS in the game. Probably the best farm. Beastmaster jungling. It's pretty good from what I hear. So.
Okay, did you hear? Apparently, I was talking to Bulb after they lost. He was saying, he's like, okay, what are replays? What did I do wrong? And then he was telling him, like, dude, how's their Beastmaster is buying you? Apparently, Beastmaster double damage to new. Now, I don't know if it says that, but yeah.
It's the summon. It's something they changed it like the same way. I don't know how they titled it, but the same way like Venom wards now actually do more damage to neutral creeps. Something like summon units do more damage to neutral. Heroes do less damage. So yeah, heroes like Beastmaster, and it's like one of those things like they put those buffs in, and maybe not until they're actually played and in motion that they realize like, oh my god, this really benefits Beastmaster a lot, who is already kind of jungling a bit, and all these indirect buffs. But they're roaming through here, and they're going to be a bit shy on spotting.
Yeah, pink and green are just
the sense
on accident. Here we go, though. Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, Stan King. Hi, everyone. Walks right into trouble, but Franz is waiting with the roar, but that might be just a roar to get some safe space here. But he creeps in. They get the blow up on Jason, and now CC shows up with a big sonic wave, and they're going to turn it into a 2-for-1 in favor of FDL. Nice participation from the Queen of Pain there. We'll award him a better trade, even though First Blood was the other way, but nice rotation nonetheless.
Yeah, no, 2 for 2. So FDL does this. They just turn like moments that shouldn't be in their favor into the favor. I think. I mean, fighting where they fought. Obviously, the Queen of Pain can get over there, and you have an alchemist. Well, what's he gonna do? Like the acid spray is already down. He's farming. He can't just run over there and help you. He's just gonna keep farming. And that's FDL doesn't really need stuns. They have the roar, man. Yeah, he's level 7, but like 5 minutes in. That's insane.
It's pretty ridiculous here. So enjoy it while you can. Do you think, I asked this question to Mott in the last time, do you think a balance patch might be in order before Manila? Or something that we might, do you think it might be necessary?
I think just little nerfs and buffs, like that board thing, that's... what else? Who are the other heroes we have people have been playing every game?
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing plenty of the Enchantress here. Mild trade here in the bottom lane will force out TC to use that time-lapse even, but he goes right back to work on the tower.
Oh, and Franz middle has a roar and a smoke. I don't think he's going to go jungle. Nope, there's a smoke.
But, I mean, this is similar to what we saw from a lot of the Chinese teams even during Epicenter. It's just when you get this farm grind going, you just put this roar to work every time it's off cooldown. And they're doing that trend here and now. And MSS will pay the price. Here it comes. They set up the bird, and they'll make their go. Roar will be there. They have to turn the corner. The Vortex didn't really slow him down. They got the cold feet. If they can lock him in place, which they can, he will solidify. Not even necessary. They're going to easily clean it up with the Scream coming out from CC. Jason's pretty weak, so he'll have to step back. But Matt, able to stand, plant, and take down the AA. They'll find at least a trade that way, but losing MSS does cost them quite a bit more. And CC, who's only got 30 life left, is going to be on the way out here, and I don't think there's going to be anything to stop him.
No, he is blink up that urn, almost killed him. The Centaur actually missed, effing mad Centaur missed his first stomp. It would have MSS alive a little longer and they would have got the kill, but it was he wanted blinked and he almost had it, but not quite. Still not the worst trade. I mean, you committed a lot middle for MSS, but you don't want to lose that farm on him. He's going to find his farm anytime now. So. Brax top lane, he is having a pretty good time. Him and Biza just having good times.
And it's a win-win really for both of them right now. But for Biza's sake, I'm sure he's going to be happy to be able to kind of muscle forward into that Midas that much faster. And for Brax, well, I assume a mech will allow him to kind of come together a bit faster.
I'm looking if he does go Mice. He might, because he got the third clause of attack on Lifestealer. He might just go straight up Armland. They might try to do early pushing with the Beastmaster and Quab. Those are good pushing here, especially against an Alc. Once his Alec's Acid Spray runs off, he provides nothing in the early game at all in fights.
Yeah, getting that extra armor going to be nice against all the reduction that's going to be coming out from Shazam for sure. And this is when we might be seeing some of these offlaners also get a bit more proactive. MDW is getting close to his level 6, but TC continues to just briefly dive him there along the back. While this is happening, we have a rotation coming out from the other members here of FDL. Swinging through the bottom. TC very deep here. Wants to go for MDW. will be time-lapsing to get himself back under the tower and get that life back. And that will be the end of that squash. But back at mid lane, we have MSS going right back into his farm grind here. But we got Franz coming in. It's off cooldown, and it's going to be back on cooldown in just a second if they can get close enough. CC steps in front of MSS. Will dish out the scream. Sees Jason and Mad rotating in. We'll have to change course, and that might be the end of this gank, Grant. CC is got to get the hell out of here.
Yep.
We'll be able to blink away.
Hanging with the perfect ice vortex. Don't everyone jump and not bad for either team. JW gets some. Yeah, nothing. I think this kind of favors FDL right now because they're keeping MSS's farm down. TC's farming a little bit. He's spending a lot though. He's not a CS just to harass the Timber line and UCB's. He is 69-0. He is topping the charts quite heavily.
Yeah.
There's a Radiant his use scan.
I mean, they know that Franz is on the prowl. While he has that roar up, he is going to be looking for a target here. We check back at bottom. TC does have the time lapse. We'll use it here. MJW, though, has that chakram, and you can obviously see he's being a bit more offensive than he was before with that extra tool to use. This is going to force TC back, and he might even need just a little bit of extra assistance. It looks like Mad is kind of in the neighborhood now, so we'll have to see if they're going to be able to do anything with that. Actually, MJW will spot him out instead.
This is interesting. Now that I see FDL's draft, I said they didn't really have stuns besides that roar, but I'm liking it. They have a lot of unkillable lanes with the Quap middle and the Timber off lane. Only the Venge to really lock somebody down right now. They're losing a lot of their early game, which I think favors them.
Both armlets came online pretty much right at the same time there for both MSS and Bisa, so I'm curious if either of them are going to look to put him to work right away.
Looks like Bisa's sitting inside the Quap.
Yeah, there's a nice little jump bomb potentially, but over nearby, it's Jason who spots out MJW. There's going to be the missile, and
top lane,
reaction of the TP. They're not going to be able to stop it, and yep, up and above, we catch the back end of it. Stan King gets jumped there from Brax. Good solo pick off for him. No one really nearby to help out, and it'll be the first takedown we've seen in a while here in favor of Shazam.
Let me see. Franz just trying to. Once they get that book one up, you're definitely going to see him just take out those tier ones right away.
Oh yeah.
The auras are Beastmaster, Double Bore, Chromicon level 1. I know I pronounced it wrong, but that's just my.
Yeah,
it's a nice name though. Well, how do you pronounce it?
Now I'm gonna say Necromicon.
I think it's Necronomicon. Right?
Yeah, Necronomicon.
Necromicon. It just sounds like you're going to like a weed festival, like downtown in a hotel. I don't know.
Yeah, Necromicon. I'll meet you there at 4 p.m. And I got my Otaku outfit on, or whatever.
I don't. Okay, Matt. I made up a word.
I made up a word. I don't know. I bet it's legit.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure I've heard that.
I've heard hentai too, but it was my only other option. So.
Yeah, it's in my most search, but I don't know why. But yeah. But it's there. But
you hang out with MSS probably a bit too often. It's the actual fact.
He
Speaking
really
of which, he's hanging around. He's still farming his way through. Since picked up the armlet, got about 1,500 gold. So when we match that up to Bisa here, Bisa 1,000. Doesn't have that nice benefit of the Greeble's greed, but for the case of both teams here, kind of taking a pause as far as the fighting goes.
I like how the Midas isn't a thing anymore on the Alchemist. They realize you already farm quick enough. I mean, Midas will help your experience a little bit and gold, but you better just get your items online. They're going to run at you if they see you have an Alchemist with a Midas.
Magic Missile on for MJW here, but with that armor, I mean, it's really no problem at all. They'll easily shrug that one off, and they'll get right back in order, and you know, this is when if you're Jason, you're kind of just running around making some stacks and trying to find a home for yourself right now, so.
Yeah, oh, and I forgot, okay, so Brax, I believe it was Brax couldn't show up first game of a series versus Freedom, and MSS played the off lane, and he had a 42 charge Bloodstone Timbersaw. He was like 41,000 net worth at 60 minutes. It was insane. Yeah, Timbersaw's seeing a ton of play. I love watching. He's fun to watch.
He gets those extra charges now too, but the change. But meanwhile, Brax gets jumped. And they will be able to get the finish. Nicely done there. Lead in from FDL will also reward them with the tier 1 takedown.
Yep, just what we called. And right when he gets book 1, they just 5-man a tier 1, and that's all they have to do. And they don't have anything to stop it besides Shazam 5-manning.
Which Shazam obviously are waiting quite a bit for. Probably once they are able to get that mech online here, but with bringing down Brax, it will delay things quite a bit, so it makes that pickoff that much sweeter for FDL, because it just kind of will put a pause on Shazam's timing, while really you're looking at a team at FDL really beginning to reach a peak now, with a Necro book coming online, and that's probably what I call it, Necro book. It's a safe bet.
Yeah, that's this one. Just orange is Necro, yeah.
The Necro book, the good book, you know.
Okay, yeah, and I want to get. Do you think Biza's getting a male or the? Oh my, no, he's getting a Midas. Biza can get the phase boot, armlet. Yep, there it is. He's the 13-minute Midas with those items. His farm's actually been immaculate. That's insane timing for all three of those items. My God.
It's expected the Alchemist will still be able to beat him out only because of the bonus of the Greevils and perhaps picking up a bounty, but for being just dedicated to the farm right now, and also it helps being able to participate in that kill. He's definitely showing a lot of personal worth here.
It's nice having a 6-second BKB at 14. Alchemist does.
Yep. We'll see if they look to kind of take advantage of that while it's within their window here. For CC, he's going right for the Ags on his Queen of Pain. So no sort of Orchid play here. I guess maybe you're figuring you're going against the Weaver, who's going to get the Lincolns. Maybe they want to stall things out or just deep pressure the lanes a bit, but they would prefer to be having this Sonic Wave online more often than not.
Yeah, I like it because I saw him play Quap, I believe it was yesterday. He goes York. I'm one of those people who has that flow charty kind of thing, same items every game. Like an IX Mike Abaddon, he buys the same items every game no matter what, but TCNC is always variety, always counters what the team has in it. It's smart. Sometimes you need that. It's not all about the going to the lab and studying, you know?
Yeah. Gotta be thinking in the moment. And here's Franz with another roar, up and ready to go. Brax, who's caught out previously in that top lane, now back at bottom to get back into the grind of farm to finish up. He's 40 gold away from that mech. The ward, or the tower rather, will spot out the bird, and Brax will TP just as the Ice Blast comes in. He'll make it away to safety, back to town for him, and instead FDL will probably have to settle with pushing down the lane, and going for that bottom tier 1 is probably their next option here.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed now that I've been watching a lot of FDL, they draft, like, you see a lot of Dooms on teams playing the 4. FDL drafts being greedier. Yesterday they played 2 Axes in the which is super punishable. The teams in punish in this game is just a straight-up Beastmaster, which, I mean, isn't the greatest. Like, your lanes are super weak, but they seem to always be getting away with it, which they have 4 farmed heroes instead of 3 and just body people.
And this Beastmaster's, at least on my screen, bugged. He's not even holding the axes, just punching down the tower, so...
Oh, yeah, mine too. He is...
Pretty manly.
It's a real manly, yeah. He's got the... Maybe... Is it that, or does he... No, I'm pretty sure it's bugged.
Yep, classic, but...
Classic. He looks cool when he's doing it, though, yeah, he looks...
Yeah. Well, they'll roll through and begin to just go down their docket, and you're right, I mean, even in Game 1 of the last series, they went with the Axe Game 1 and then Beastmaster Game 2. Is it bad enough where it might force a team like Shazam maybe for their next game, or any potential future opponent, to just rid of those 2 right off the bat? Then you risk letting something else slip by, like the Enchantress or an early Invoker pickup, let's say.
The ward, but it looks like they're all just getting... TC might be able to take this tower. We're gonna see Blightstone, he's -2 armor,
but he sees the cold feet. We'll have to at least sidestep that, and that will be denied. That's 2 towers in front of TC rather, that has been denied this game. Bottom tier 1 and now that one, and he moves in, and there will be a TP out. Back at bottom lane.
Good TP, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Brax gets his mech, and that'll be the end of that. So a lot of duck and dodge play here from both teams as they continue the grind to farm. Is it more pressure on FDL to kind of just get the ball rolling at this point, or?
I think they're not even that far up, but I think they're fine with where they're at. Shazam, the Alchemist is getting it farmed, whether you push now or push in 10 minutes. But Biza's finding so much kind of pain, even that I would say they're definitely in a pretty strong lead right here, and they don't have to push, but they can, and they should.
I would say, though, that they have to be careful that if they do go for any sort of advantage here, which shows we see CC infested up right now, If this goes bad, they can hand over a pretty significant lead to Shazam, and one they might not bank on losing from there on out. So if FDL can kind of keep this advantage through the game and be able to just cripple the farm that's available to Shazam by taking out these towers, then they could be in a good spot. But the longer things stall out, I would definitely get nervous for FDL.
Yeah, this Weaver, I mean, if a Weaver can get a Lincoln's, Deso, MVD, whatever he wants, I mean, it's definitely going to be a problem. Top lane, he's actually...
Mad's here now, steps in, gets some respectable damage on the MJW, but certainly nothing to brag about, so they pull out in a way.
Nail just went all the way off the map.
Yeah, maybe didn't want to reveal that he had it.
I didn't know you could do that, so if you just let it go forever and don't click R, it just doesn't go?
Yep, it's just gone forever. I think it goes into a different game, but I don't know.
It just goes into the Dota 1.
The abyss of Dota 1. But FDL continuing their objective path. Now they move in. They look to go for the Roche. Doing it decently here. Jason will spot it out with the wave, and now the rotation comes. Can they get there in time? Brax steps in. Vacuum up to the high ground they go! Right with the wall on top of it. Beautifully done from Brax. FDL a bit stranded. CC obviously going to be able to blink down. Gets off the Sonic Wave, good damage, but not enough to get the finish. And all the meanwhile, poor Beast is still trapped up on that high ground. Continuous battle with himself and his illusions. Will end up losing. Beautifully played by Brax on that one, and that will allow Shazam to just clear up the Aegis.
Well, okay, that's definitely one game in the most game-winning plays I've seen in a while. He just
Jesus Christ.
Think if they didn't have a quap, that would have been 3 people just stuck on a hill, and they just zoned out the quap after that and killed each other on the wall. I mean, you can't get away. Kill the illusions, you spawn more,
yeah,
do extra damage.
That was just wonderfully done. Bisa just fighting with himself at least 5 times over there at the end, and just beautifully done from Brax. And all set up, of course, with Jason just being there with the wave. That should have been the triggering point for FDL, maybe to second guess where they were standing or if they really wanted to commit for it. But they were so close to getting it done. It's just that point, like, you know, when you approach a red light and it's like yellow, and you're like, how long has it been yellow? We got to go for it. Well, this time they ran the red light and they hit some, you know,
nah, you hit the
poor
kids
Granny.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes you get the kids. And...
Are you one of the guys who always goes on yellow, or?
I mean, if it's an early yellow, yeah, it depends. If I'm by myself in the car, I'll pretty much always go for it. But yeah. You know, if I got people, if I'm you know, I'm responsible for people, I might think twice.
And it depends if you're in a hurry. Maybe you guys are going to a football game, the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'd blow that really quick.
Yeah, for sure.
I have no.
Unless you get an accident, then you can't go at all. So. Ew.
That's true. Oh, yo, bottom lane.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that was so good.
With the roar set up, beautifully done with the help of the mana leak that they were able to pop the Lincolns. Now it will force the Aegis out, and I don't think they have anything to stop TC from making it away. They have an Ice Blast, but it will miss its mark. So it's a lot of effort. It will only get the Aegis down, however.
Well, and he just killed one of the big bug creeps.
Oh, he got Bisa though, going for fun here, and it'll. I mean, MSS. Oh, that's nice. Not good enough though. I thought firstly MS is like, you know, I can't do anything about it, but they tried obviously to see if they could get a decent swap in space, but obviously not going to stop Isa from making his move and getting the job done.
Yeah, and Brax and effing Mad were both just trying to kill, just couldn't do anything to the Timber Saw top, and eventually once the vacuum gets used, try to bring him down, he TP'd out in seconds, so that is one available hero, and he doesn't even have anything except a Bloodstone right now.
Let's see what MJW can do to get some more charges on it right now. The second he throws out the shotgun, they just piece right out. And this is his point to really snowball up, because if he kind of fizzles out here, or he risks getting picked off and loses all these fancy charges, you know, could be stuck in a bit of an awkward position to play catch-up. But if he does bring in the farm, then you got like one of those fancy blinking sheep stick Shiva's Timber Saws that offer so much utility to your team, and could be a huge, big game changer for FDL.
I've heard a lot of people still wondering, like almost all the Alchemists are still going Manta. People are like, why go? You don't need extra gold anymore. But I mean, for Alchemists, just Manta Radiance to farm. It's all about just pushing lanes. Like anyone with a Manta, like that's all you're doing, pushing lane. Of course, I mean it was way better when you got all the Greeble So they nerfs him a little bit super late game, but besides that, he still gets his job accomplished.
It doesn't, like you said, doesn't stop the waves from, not coming in.
You still get all the normal gold like a normal hero, so it's not like that got nerfed. You're getting every creep, just not bonus.
Oh, look at this. They're hunting for some top Canadian blood here. Can they get a hold of the mighty TC? Well, they'll get a Shadow Strike off. They're hunting. CC's trying to get close enough for the bomb. Not going to be able to get there, so TC in a swift movement.
Yeah, the Shadow Strike didn't even take out Lincoln's because he was so far out of range of the bo3 he didn't have vision, so it just connect.
Damn. Well, as that happens,
top Canadian plays.
MSS uses the boot to travel, will come up with the rest of his posse here, while TC is just kind of dancing with them a bit. In this bottom part of the map, the rest of his team is just going to do work here at the top, so they're looking for a setup on potentially this tier 2 tower, but
this is funny to watch. One team has to use a Beastmaster to initiate, and Shazam has to use Avenge Stun to initiate, like on the Timber. So, I mean, you're not going to see any kills, because it's literally just 2 initiators on each team until Brax feels comfortable, like Blink Vacuum walling, but he's not going to do that against Timber.
Yeah. So no one is really going to be able to kind of get off on a quick foot here, and because of that, we might not see sparks fly until absolutely necessary. But
ooh, and the Deso on Weaver's up 1 creep. He already has the 1 Mythril on Chicken, getting the other one, and he's going to be putting out quite a bit more damage, especially against the Timber.
He's pushing his lane back quite a bit. The Lincolns will be popped, and he will pull back. That is the new ward, by the way, right there in the middle, so pretty fancy.
But where?
Right in the middle of that bottom lane, the Sentry ward. He's juggling around the eyeballs right now.
Ooh, and that's upgrade style 1. I do just the base.
Oh, style 1. I think that goes up to 5 styles, people. If you really want to get, get the money out there, get the styles.
I think one of the
career
late
has like 40.
Yeah, it does. I think one of the wards late styles like 750. So you better be dropping fat stacks for those.
I mean, only the fattest for.
Yeah, only the fattest. Thanks, Gabe. Made Dota go down for 3 hours, but it was all worth it when we got.
Just gotta shut Reddit up sometimes, I guess,
Gotcha.
There's your compendium. Oh, now you want Dota to play. Oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait for lunch.
Funny thing is, mid tower just drops when they had Glyph up. Like, Glyph on the mid dire tower.
Oh.
And they didn't, and then they got killed by Crate. Brady gets a little bit of gold. They're probably happy about that.
You gotta click it or tick it on that Glyph. Especially for those tier 1s, considering they're free. But,
it's free. Trust me, when I solo cast, there's a few things that just get me all hot and bothered. That's one of them, and buying a Midas and not using it off, I was gonna make up a word, I don't even know. Giddy up.
Otaku?
Yeah, Otaku, I lose my Otaku. Oh, God.
Bottom lane, TC gets hit up a bit from MDW, but nothing will come out of it again. For both these guys, MDW is still 0-1, hasn't really been able to do much. I mean, I don't want to make it so bland sounding there, Grant, but, this isn't the flashy Timbersaw who's kind of rolling through the team. I assume that's to the credit of Shazam not really allowing him to, go too crazy. Is this become a concern at all for them, or they're just content he's finding his own way and farm on the map?
Yeah, you can tell both teams are content with what they're doing, but I think you're right. FDL's just farming a little bit less. You see the net worth going in favor of Radiant. I mean, obviously that's the Alchemist, but and the Timber's just not farming. He has Boots of Travel. He has a Bloodstone. I might be going. I think Yule's play here, but I'm not sure.
Uh-oh, here comes MSS. We might see some sort of skirmish. The long concoction hits Franz right on the head, and one easy smack, and it's over. He goes down.
A lot of damage. That was a lot of minus armor. We see so we have Deso, Wave of Terror, and Acid Spray. Yeah, if this Timbersaw gets caught by 1 Venge Stun in a team fight, he actually is just.
They can't do anything to TC. I mean, we saw him just dancing around there right at the bottom. With that Lincoln's on hand, it's so sketchy for them to make sure that they have some way to lock him down and then enough firepower to finish him off. And that ain't going to get any easier here. He already has 2,400 gold.
Yeah,
I don't know really what he wants to build next, but if he continues to build up some serious stats, this is just the Weaver. They still have the insurance policy of the Alchemist there as well. They're going to make a go for TC now. There's the Blink Bomb, but a swap will kind of cause a bit of a ruckus here for FDL. They can't even get Jason down. These lack of stuns allows them to make it away on the back of a TP. And look at the turnaround already coming in. CC will go down. And this was a fight that you know, FDL brought forward. They didn't have to use the roar yet. In fact, the roar is going to be coming in now. Let's see if they can get anything going their way. This fight, MDL will entice them a bit, drawing them closer. Here comes the Ice Blast, though. The jumping from Franz. Can they get the roar follow-up? They can. That will be the kill on the MSS. It's really been the first real positive boom for FDL in a while, but that may be the end of it here. But it looks like they have spotted out TC. He's long gone, though, so... All right, that is a chunk of money right there, about 1,700 gold net worth for FDL just on the Alchemist kill. But look at this, they're gonna get more. Bisa finds Jason, chomps him down, and more going their way.
I'm surprised. MSS should have lived there. He waited. He could have done out like at any time, but he's trying to save for the max, and then he's like, uh-oh, they're gonna come and roar me and AA ult me, and I'm just dead. And then he stunned himself, set up for the AA ult and roar, and got himself killed there. We still haven't seen, like, besides that vacuum wall, the bottom roach, we haven't seen another wall yet. He didn't even use it that fight. That was the only one.
Yeah, really
CCNC is really diving here.
They want Brax bad. I mean, you're right with the Yules. There's a wall for you. And a commitment of the Sonic Wave still not going to be enough. Brax will go down. It's silenced up, and that'll be the end of it. CC links away, and... All right. Well, you got your wall, so there's that going for you.
Yeah, man. The Yules on Timber side, it's pretty much just for the. It's like playing as a pup now. You can always Timber chain. Hey, you have any crazy debuffs? Well, just Yules yourself up, Timber chain when you land, and they only have a bench stun and the Alchemist stun to stop it. It's gonna be hard to shut him down.
They are also lacking stuns themselves.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't.
No stuns.
I mean, it's not common for Timber to get something like an Orchid, but, I mean, Slark doesn't get Orchid typically, and we saw that last game, but they are just still locking ways, or missing ways to get locked down. I mean, I suppose you can always go into a Sheep Stick a little later, but it is something they are going to have to consider.
Yeah, I think Timber usually, I think he usually goes Shivas into, I think it was an Octarine last time. No, I mean, he just like stats on. Oh no, Jason could be in trouble.
Oh. Nope. No, they got the Yules. Okay, well, that new item going to work right away will prevent that TP out and will allow them to take down the little support. And FDL continue to truck on forward here. But obviously Shazam not really clumping or employing any sort of buddy-buddy system. They're each doing their own thing. Brax takes up mid right after he gets taken down at that top lane. And, you know, Mad, who had been pretty quiet this game at his 1-1-2, just continues to roam on through and just be there for his team when necessary. It hasn't really been an exciting game impact for him either.
That hasn't been. It's only been 17 kills in 31 minutes. It hasn't been like the most slowest game, but it's definitely. Teams have been fighting and pushing, but both teams, like we said, with no stuns, the teams can 5v5 fight and nothing can happen because of.
Okay, TC shows up bottom. Scoochie's right through them all. His Lincolns will be popped. And that'll be the end of it here. She does the Sour Strike, I guess, for the Orchid Silence, and then they hustle on out of there. You know, and again, you know, it's pressure on FDL to kind of now start taking down these tier 2 towers, so that really Shazam have limited options for farm on the map. Right now, it doesn't look like they have any limitations. They're still just farming any way which they can. They're holding on the net worth lead, not by a lot, but they're still
MSS
holding.
is trying. Problem is, MSS, get rid of his bottle, get an item, and then he's pretty much 6-slotted. I mean, he'll sell his armlet a little bit later, but he's getting to peak capacity when he wants to find. We saw him bottom lane when they did catch that Timber Cloud. Like, they blew him up super quick, but the rest of the team rotated and they just didn't have anything. Ooh, bottom.
Yep, bot, roar, TC. Will they finally get the bug down? No! Yes, they will. Swap comes in from Jason. They both end up going down really fast. An attempt to get MSS a bit closer. He's actually going to be the late one in. And they will quickly swarm onto 3 Grant. Huge fight for FDL. They waited a long time to be able to get a setup like that, and they'll finally get that bug squished. And with it, they'll follow it up and make a move into the Roche.
Yeah, that was without a quaffle. We saw he whipped it, a nice swamp by Jason with 3 kills, and it's just like track kills. You get a Bloodstone, every kill matters. He just got 3 free Bloodstone charges.
Yes, the Forgiving Force Staff will prevent B from getting stuck up on that high ground again. And this time they're going to look to punish Brax for trying it. They rush right his way. He's able to get the surge off and hustle out, but the Orchid is there. Force though.
Wow.
And he's gone.
I can't believe he lived there.
Where did he get that force from?
I think Matt's not looking as hot.
Oh, Matt, the one who's going to die right behind him. Okay.
And another Bloodstone charge. And they got Roche. Bezo's like, whatever, you guys go have fun with that. I'm just going to take Roche myself with your hook.
18 charges already on MJW. 6 charges has been already.
Look at the items. This Naix is just as armed as MSS. Like, they have the same amount of items, except Lifestealer is just a better hero with items. At team fighting, you just pop Rage like 2 or 3 times a team fight. He has an AC by himself. Now, I mean, even more. Unless, now, I don't know, there's minus armor everywhere.
Nonetheless, it's still more of a buffer for himself, so that if he does get hit up with all that minus armor, he still has some armor to at least work with in the fight, and can be a tanky force here. And it looks like FDL will just kind of step back after taking that tier 2, farm her way out, and then probably make an approach at the bottom or the top here shortly, but that was definitely enough of a hit to Shazam to knock the wind out of him here, so we'll have to see what the response is going to be.
Yeah, Vlad's is coming up on Beastmaster next fight, as well as Timber, Saw's, Shivas. They are going to have all the big auras. Going to run straight at Shazam. They might even go for a base this next time. They're still scared of the Brax. The 5-man vacuum wall can win any team a game. You could be a level... Okay, maybe not level 6 Darkseer and face 5 25s, but very good skill.
Mid lane, TC will creep towards MJW here. And with the help from Jason, now we'll get, nice Yule's dodge. And Bisa just shows up and is like, what the hell are you thinking? Just chomps up Jason really fast. TC is going to be forced to retreat, and now a killing spree for the mighty Bisa here.
Yeah, and I think like what I said earlier, FDL just looks like more of a team, and then you said FDL just, they move around together, they find there hasn't been many kills, but they always keep finding the lone hero. And they look really good. They looked good last series. They look good right now. Nothing flashy, but they're winning games. And I'd rather win a game or be demon and lose every game but look flashy.
Well, for now, the FDL thing seems to be working, where they just kind of move as a team and get some wins here. Don't want to be speaking too soon for this game yet, but they have the biggest net worth advantage that we've seen this game so far. But, you know, as you mentioned, the last time these two teams met, they had an 80-minute skirmish, so I don't know if we're going to be prepared for another long haul, but these teams are itemizing as if this can go pretty long. Shivas does come up next for MJW, up to 19 charges now on his Bloodstone. I was curious for a while there when he was going to be able to really hit his stride. Well, that came and went pretty damn fast, and we'll have to see if Shazam are going to find a stride of their own as they smoke up. They go on the hunt here. We'll have to see if they're going to find any sort of opportunity. It's always with Jason. Like, Jason's got to do it with the missile. Jason's got to get the save with the swaps. It's a lot on the shoulders of the support.
The Weaver, only one the Weaver can take down right now is like an AA. Quap can blink away. Naix can just rage and hit him. Timbersaw just tanks him. Same with Beastmaster. Oh, and they see MJW.
There's going to be the Yules. They're going to wait with the stun. The stun's going to be there right as he tries to Timber Chain away. And it's going to be enough of a lockdown that's going to force MJW to use the Bloodstone deny and just off himself. So
that was a good deny. Now he's back to original, but that's not too bad. He doesn't give away any gold or experience. So
yep,
that would have been a big one. So it's like they didn't even get a kill, essentially.
And as you mentioned, back to pretty much the Bloodstone right as it started. 12 charges still to work with here, and
they're pinging base middle. They're like, hey, we just saw 5 fuel top. Let's go middle.
Yeah, what did they have to use? They still have
TC's
wall.
In trouble.
There's a roar though. TC Ice Blast connects, but there will be a time lapse, so he's able to kind of avoid that kind of a pressure. The AA Ice Blast will pursue through this, and they will have plenty of firepower with the help of that Sonic Wave 2 to be able to take him down. Brax with the surge steps in, gets hexed up. We'll be able to make it away. While this happens though, MSS and Matt are pushing this top lane. They've already reached into the high ground here, and we'll do some work on the tier 3 while FDL are yet to make it in.
I feel FDL could just literally run their base. Okay, they're probably like, oh wait, we're way far ahead. Look at our items.
Let's go.
That tower.
That tower's dead.
-12. Jesus.
Okay, that's a cool swap. They're dead.
One.
And now I'm going to back up. He does get stunned though. Vacuum back into a wall. MSS tries to right click him down. Going to go into Manta. MJW though, deep in enemy territory, causing a bit of a ruckus here, trying to be the gatekeeper for his team. And we'll be able to kind of diffuse the situation, allow him to step back. They'll take a tier 3 and nothing more. Still a better trade, a much better one than Shazam.
Might think about going back in here.
Roar in 2. Why not? Infest will also be ready to go. They see MSS dancing out in front.
They just need, that's the problem. AA's been trying to ult MSS, but MSS like always sees he just moves a little to the left or right, and that's the problem with no lockdown. They hit it on the Weaver with the Roar, but I can't believe that. I mean, Weaver still died, but that was, he barely got that ult off. If they somehow turned it around, but if somehow.
It's like one of those situations where you almost want to get close as an AA just to secure the hit, but then you're like in Weaver territory and he'll just 4-shot you down and it's over.
He's going Ags. I'm surprised he didn't go Ghost Scepter. We've seen a lot of AAs just, Ags is good. Not dying is even better.
Yeah, that's true. But for his sake, I guess they want to benefit that these are going to be more long-winded fights and would love the extra ticking time on the old Ice Blast there. Here comes Shazam down this top lane, looking to kind of relieve the pressure and divert the attention away from their very fragile mid lane now. But that's not on the agenda for FDL. They're already back at this mid lane once again, and they're going to make sure the pressure stays forward. They'll probably eventually kind of step back and deal with this top lane, and then kind of continue to like press the issue here while they can.
Oh, Bragg's bottom is, he's...
Wow.
Yeah, he just got like a bunch of shot by Biza.
Yeah, the Sheepstick already doing a lot of work for CC. This time without the Surge, Bragg's not going to be able to make it away. They just make quick work of him.
Crazy's not, Biza's not just, I mean, Biza should just be going bottom, killing that tower. They're just going to get the rat.
They're going to have to straight up race here. Yeah, they don't have the wall vacuum available for 40 seconds. They'll just take the racks quickly. Do they keep going for more? It looks like they do. They're heading towards the bottom lane. Some do step back, and MJW will try to be the bouncer here and keep him backing away. CC by his side with the Infest. While this happens, Beastmaster continues to add pressure on the bottom lane. Looks like he might be able to get this tier 3 down. With this Necro Book, they will. Take it down indeed.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they didn't put, I think it was smart though, they didn't lose their own racks top and they still got the tier 3. I'm pretty sure with Bees, they can like 2-shot these Raxes. But I've learned, as I've grown older, playing safe, playing the more safe route, it's the better choice to take a lot of the time.
It's not fun, but sometimes it's a smart choice.
And it seems like, I mean, with obviously the rubber band mechanics, I think that's where the biggest thing happens. Let's see, you get a Rax and 2 of you die, you're still going to lose like 5,000 gold. And nobody dies, well.
Yep.
Sorry, super late game for Nags. It became a little weaker with the Abyssal Blade because he gets an Abyssal, but the extra like 60 damage it used to. So, I mean, that's why it was so good for AM, anyone. But you still want it for the lockdown, and provides you even a little survivability. Not really big late game, but
it's an interesting exchange. Like you mentioned, you lose a big chunk of damage, but they did make that stun better too, right? It's either less mana, lower cooldown.
Way less cooldown, like 15 seconds.
I mean, and it's just, I mean, heroes would love to have that just as a skill. Well, bottom lane, Mad in a bit of trouble. Forces forward, we'll be able to TP away. No extra stun will be there to follow up. The Roar was already committed. And now they're looking for Brax, but Brax with his own blink will be able to make it back away. While this happens, TC gets the kill, taking out CC in the top lane. That's a gem on the deck. Now, Queen of Pain does have a buyback here. Might have to use it because Shazam are coming towards this top lane, but they're losing their bottom lane at the same time. Visa's mighty hand has already ripped apart the racks, and they could race if they want to.
Yeah, they know Quap has buyback. They're like, okay, we get a Rax, but back up to.
Oh, they turn right back onto Mad, and they'll kill him. Just entice him to come out from the base a little too far. Brax will be next. There's that Abyssal, and boom, he's gone. Does have a buyback, but he's already committed his wall. AAL comes in and hits on MSS. Was it an Ags ulti? It certainly was. MSS going to be stuck without any sort of healing power here for a little while. And FDL continue to fight where they've already laid ruin to the whole set of racks. Ooh, swap back. Timber Chain, though. It's there. Nice mechanics. Okay, Yule still keeps him alive. The Roar comes out from Franz. He'll lose his life. Then MJW. But Beast, all the meanwhile, goes man mode here. Almost gets TC down, but TC is going to be forced to use the time lapse. Sidestep, steps back. Infest, pop out. One-hit bash, but he's already Sakuchi. Can't see him. MSS jumps in. The 3 of them. Kiting about Beast here. He's tired of it. I'm going to go for you, MSS. Charges his way. The Manta's going to come out. And that might be the end of it here.
Uh-oh. Oh,
this is like that kid who gets picked on in school and they're throwing the baseball up over his head. But eventually his friend shows up, pops out the Sonic Wave, and they annihilate CC. He might have to buy back here. They're going to lose MSS. Both of them out for over 80 seconds. In fact, don't even bother with the buybacks. This game's over.
Yeah, I mean, I hope if your kid's just throwing a baseball keep away, I hope your friends just don't come in and murder him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you want to get your ball back. I can respect that as a friend. Wow, that was... Shazam looked decent in the beginning, but FDL never... They just didn't look bad, ever, at any point in this game. Never a bad gank, ever. Played solidly the whole game. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was siding with Shazam in their draft. It looked really solid. They had a lot to be able to